standing by now in Queens. What you got, Katie?
Okay, hi Jody. I am live tonight in Long Island City with another story we're following for you. Community activists and local lawmakers are calling for increased police presence in our city parks. According to stats released at a press conference today, crime in New York City parks jumped by 24% last year, while the number of park police dropped to the lowest level in more than a decade.
For every PEP officer that leaves the job today, he is not being replaced. So we are basically in a dismantlement program to end parks enforcement.
This push comes after a string of assaults in Inwood Park in Upper Manhattan over the past weekend. Well, earlier tonight, I talked with Geoffrey Croft. He's the president of the New York Park Advocate Group, who says there's been what he calls an explosion of crime recently in city parks.
I mean, there's gang activities going on in parks, there's drug sales, there's prostitution, obviously, you know, rapes, stabbings, shootings. I mean, it's off the charts.
How important is a uniformed presence in a park to deter crime?
It's, I mean, any criminologist will tell you, any, you know, people, the public will tell you, it is a big deal.
Croft says there is a huge discrepancy in the number of park police in different boroughs. For example, in Queens, for about 4,300 acres, only 7 officers. In Brooklyn, about the same, 4,700 acres, 7 officers. And in contrast, you were saying to me, Central Park is very different.
Central Park has about 100 officers, and that's the only park in New York City that has a police precinct in it. But more egregious are things like Battery Park City, who have they have about 35 acres of parkland, and they have 35 officers.
That's 1 per acre. Anyway, Croft says this kind of disparity is unfair, as wealthier areas are, of course, able to hire private police, and publicly funded parks are shortchanged. Advocates like Croft say the city needs to hire many, many more park enforcement patrols, or PEP as they're called, and distribute them fairly. And he says the need is urgent, as crime in city parks normally get a little bit worse in the summer. Jody.